Hello and welcome to Retech, and it's a very quick video on the Amiga A500 Mini. I'm sure everyone's now is getting a little bit kind of tired of A500 reviews and A500 games and A500 Mini kind of videos basically about what this machine's all about, what it does, what the games are like and so on. This is not that. As you can see here, we've got my A500, the recreated one or the emulated one running, and it's running fine. And we've got the A500 Mini on the top. Now, I've been playing around with the A500 Mini for must be about a week now or so, and it's fine. The games that it comes with, generally they work. They're good. Okay, they might not be your selection of games. They might not be the games that you would have chosen, etc. But you know, they do work. Some are slightly fast, some are a little glitchy, some are a little bit difficult with the on-screen keyboard. Now, this is where I'm coming from with this now. Now, with this model here, you can see it running here. It's fine. It works, but it actually needs to be configured for different games or different software or different demos or whatever you want to run on it. So you do know you have to configure it. It's all part of the kind of experience of it being an emulated Amiga. This is an emulated Amiga, but it's designed to be an out-of-the-box experience, and for most people that's what they want. They want this to be an out-of-the-box games console to get a retro fix. Now, you can install WHD load on here, but the version that's on the website from RetroGames is not very good. It's very glitchy, it doesn't work very well. It basically black screen stuff, and stuff doesn't work. A lot of the games that you can download and install don't work at all, and you know, it's not really a very good user experience. Now, it's acceptable on one of these. It's acceptable when you've got an emulated machine that you wanted to do everything, like the 500, the 1200 and so on, all on one kind of package. But it's not acceptable on a commercial product that's meant to be out of the box runnable, as in it works, it does what it says on the box out of the box. Well, this isn't doing that. This is acting just like one of these. You know, you might as well stick a Mibian on a Raspberry Pi and you're going to have the same issues. Now, there is a download or a new version of WHD load which is meant to fix a lot of the issues, which we'll go through now. So we've gone to RetroBiz and you go to the support page and you get the user manual, the 500 WD load package, and it's the newest version that's on here at the moment. And you can also get the bonus USB pack and go through some frequently asked questions. For example, most people don't realize that 32 gig is the biggest or largest USB stick you can use on here. And basically, if you go to why doesn't my USB stick work, there's not really a lot there, is there? So, you know, they don't know either. So why does it show a black screen? And basically it's saying that some WHD load programs may result in a black screen, and this is caused by the program not being configured in the WHD load, or the program's been renamed. Well, most of the downloads that you do will not have been renamed. So they have a latest version of the WHD load package here, which just click on it, click on the download, and then you just copy it to your USB stick once it's all done, and then that's all you need to do. So you'll just download it on the bottom of the screen. Now, back to the main page. All it does is it fixes a couple of the issues that you had with the original WHD load package. So yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of questions and answers here, which, you know, they're putting some support up for it. But this is one where is why doesn't my own controller work? You see, the problem is that it says all the controllers that work with the C64 Mini and the full size should work. Yeah, it's the should work bit. They work to a point, so it really hasn't been tested properly, and that's something that it's their own product. They should have tested this. They should have made sure that these do actually work properly. Again, this C64 Mini and the full-size controller work fine with my recreated Amiga because it sees it as a C64 joystick, or a C64 Mini joystick. When I'm using it, it actually recognizes what it is. But yeah, so there are a few issues. Again, why does your program run so fast? It's not just from the USB stick, you see. That's a bit of a misnomer. It's actually from the original software that's on the machine as well. On some models it runs faster, so it seems this isn't entirely correct, but you know, it can work for some issues, but this isn't entirely 100% correct because the model or the software on the original machine does run fast from machine to machine, and it seems a bit weird. It's almost as if they're using slightly different chipsets, or they're, you know, configured slightly differently. I'm guessing that they've used a number of different processors depending on availability. So now I'm just going to let you know what it was like once I tried it out. But I'll give you the bad news. The bad news is that it doesn't fix all of the issues. The good news is that some of the games do actually work that wouldn't run previously. But again, it's not an out-of-the-box experience. Now, I'm standing by my comments that I've made in my first video. The Amiga, the way it's done, and the Amiga in general, isn't the best machine to produce a Mini for. It isn't the best machine to produce an out-of-the-box full-size version for, unless you lock it down to a specific model. This should have been locked down as an Amiga 500 only. This should have just been an Amiga 500 locked down, not to run any AGA games, not to run anything that wasn't specifically designed to run on an Amiga 500. Basic 500. That's it. That would have eliminated all the issues you get even with these kind of things like demos and stuff like that running, because it's an out-of-the-box machine. It's not meant to be one of these. It's not meant to be an emulated machine. It's not meant to be a jack-of-all-trades machine. It's meant to be, an, as it says on the case, an A500. Now, I don't believe that this is a bad product. I don't believe that it's was intentionally done that way, but I'd always believe that the Amiga isn't the best machine to emulate. As I said, maybe the Atari ST would have been a lot better, because most of the software out of the box for the 520, ST, STFM and so on would have worked almost straight away with very few issues. There'd have been very little in the way of configuration. There'll have been very little in the way of messing around. Now, this machine runs the joysticks, as in this, fine. It runs it really well because you can go into the menu and select the actual USB device, which comes up as a C64 Mini joystick, which is fine. You can run that straight away. Joystick on this is hit and miss. The gamepad on this isn't good enough for the games that are on this model, especially games like Zool, where you have to do the wiggle of the joystick very quickly to get it to kind of jump and fly and so on. So it's a bit flawed, and this is my opinion from the start. If you buy this console, if you buy it and you buy it for the games that are on it, fantastic. If you buy it to add your own games, but it's going to be pot luck. If you buy it to kind of use, instead of an Amiga 500, to save your Amiga 500 and to put your own software on, and to get it running like your Amiga 500, well, it's not the best thing in the world. It's not going to float your boat. It's not going to do what you want it to do. So my advice on the Amiga 500 is to take it as it is, as a nostalgia piece, as a games piece for what's on it and what you can add to it, and for what games you can get running on it. And if you really want a nostalgic machine, or a machine such as the A500, go out and try and find a good A500, put a GoTech in, and it'll run all of the OCS 500 games straight out of the box, and you won't really have any issues with it, because it was designed to run those titles, those games, those software and so on. So yeah, that's it really. It's a very short video, just an update on what I think of the A500. I was really wanting to like this machine, really wanting to like it, like a lot of people out there were trying to like this machine, but it's a hard one to like. And I'm kind of guessing that, reading through the reviews of all of the people who've done videos on the 500 and drop comments on it, and all the forums, etc., I actually believe that the internals of this are different from batch to batch, because the problems people are having with their A500s are very different to the problems I'm having with this A500. And it seems to be the same through the threads on the links, etc., in the forums, that some people have problems running certain games or programs, and other people it's fine. Some people are finding that software is running too quick, and other people are finding it's fine. And that's the same with the C64 Mini. I've got a couple of them, and without changing any config, having identical firmware on them, identical updates, you'll find that one or two of the titles will run quicker on one of the minis than the other, and it's exactly the same file, exactly the same title. Even Monty on the Run, which comes combined with the original 64 Mini, runs faster on one than the other. Even if you set them both to the PAL region, set your screen size, all that kind of stuff up identical to each other, you'll find out the software runs faster on one than the other. So I think the internals on these aren't the same, and I think they've done revised internals basically on demand, because of maybe shortages or supply of certain boards and chipsets. So buy it as a nostalgia piece, buy it as a quick games console. Don't buy it as a replacement for your Amiga 500. If they're going to do a full-size version, then I would wait and go for the full-size version if this is what you want, rather than that. Or get yourself a Raspberry Pi and build yourself one. Maybe that might be the better fix for the people who really want it to act like an Amiga 500, 1000, 1200 and so on, and they have access to a keyboard instead of this flaky on-screen one, which sometimes doesn't work, sometimes does work. Now, there's a firmware update shortly, hopefully within the next week or two, and we'll have a look to see if that fixes any of the issues. So yeah, I really wanted to like this, but I actually prefer this, simply because this wasn't designed to be an out-of-the-box experience. This was. It's a shame, because I've liked everything that RetroGames has done up till now, including the minor issues you have with certain chipsets or some machines running quicker than another. You can cope with that, but it runs the software. This doesn't run a lot of the software. So yeah, let's hope the firmware update fixes all this, but it seems like they've rushed it out. because really a week into the launch of a new model like this, they're bringing out firmware updates. It seems a bit odd, because surely the software that's on here has been out in the community for years. It's not new. You can get it for the Raspberry Pi, you can get it for an emulator, you can get it on your PC and so on. So yeah, not sure why they have to launch a product without the right updates on it and the right fixes on it, etc., before they bring it to market. That's a little bit sloppy, really. So anyway, they're going to have to support this because they're going to get a lot of backlash otherwise, and it looks like they are building up support on their website, but we'll see how long that goes on for. Hopefully they'll get it right, and hopefully they'll have it right soon for the people who've already bought one of these. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for taking part in another Amiga 500 update video. So thanks a lot, and I hope to see you soon. See you. Bye bye.